Hello everybody, Alcrex here, and welcome to another Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere, episode 280. Yeah, well, today we're going to be talking about the Typhoon Urban Assault Vehicle. Yeah, well, it's sort of, improved Hetzer. Add 20 tons and fusion engine, what do you get? You get the Typhoon Urban Assault Vehicle. Yeah, bring in the car, bring in the car. Alright, 70 tons. It's a 3.5 slow-moving urban vehicle. Basically, you've got something that's going to be running around with your demolishers. Yeah. Has a fusion engine, so it has 10 heat sinks. Hey, you got heat sinks, you're going to be putting something else on it. We have 11 tons of armor, ferrofibrous for 197 points of armor. This thing is well armored on the front. Yeah, it's 43 points on the front slope, 40 on the sides, 32 on the rear, and 42 in the turret. Not that you ever really need that much. It's like, if you ever played the game and you're shooting at vehicles, you only hit a turret on a 10, 11, and 12. So it's not very often you hit the turret. You're usually hitting the slope and the sides. So you probably could get by with a little bit less armor on the turret, unless you are in a hull down position, in an improved position where only the turret is facing out, and then eventually you will have to crack through everything. Let me tell you, try to dig vehicles out of a improved position on a hill that the only thing you can hit is the turret. Let me tell you, they will tear you up before you ever get there, or even do any damage to them. All right, moving on. The weapon systems. We have an AC-20 in the turret. We have 3 tons of ammo in the body. We have 4 SRM4s, or SRM2 streaks, 4 of them, 2 in the turret and 2 in the front slope. So if you're in a hull down position, 2 of those will never get used. But we have 1 ton of ammo to go with it in the body. We have in the turret 2 medium pulse lasers for short range, good work. And then in the rear, we have a small pulse laser pointing out the rear. Actually, you might be better, instead of that small pulse laser, we'll talk about it. But then we have in the turret, a load SRM6 with a ton of ammo in the body. And then we got a Beagle active probe. This thing moves so freaking slow. Does it really need the probe? Unless you're hunting infantry or some such thing. But what good is that going to do? Yeah, that doesn't work. So I just look at it as like, what good is the Beagle probe? Give me ECM instead. I'd rather have the ECM instead of a Beagle probe. Especially on something like this. At least you have something that will counter Artemis to some extent and help you against C3 systems. Heck, better yet, you might have been better off with a C3 slave. That's a great idea too. And go that route. But I digress. Now, being that this is a very slow-moving pig, and I already alluded to it, this is a city fighter. You're not taking this out into the woods anywhere. Did I just say woods? What am I thinking? This is a city fighter. You're going to be running through the urban streets with it. We've at a very slow pace, looking for something to ambush, because with an AC-20, your range is, well, what is the longest range weapon system on this? Oh, wait, it's 9. So you treat this thing as same as a demolisher heavy tank. So you have to get up close on somebody to even do any damage. So you have to figure your way out of this and do city street fighting, ambush alley type activities. As slow as you are, you're not going to sneak up on anybody and run them down or anything like that. So this is one of those vehicles that works in a lance formation. Could be a good bodyguard for a really slow moving armor formation that, or transports or something like that. It will work good supporting infantry because they barely move faster than infantry, like jump infantry, mechanized infantry. But there is a major drawback, and you're probably screaming, what's that major? And it's like, oh, we already know what the major drawback is. Yeah, we're talking about if this is supporting infantry and you're being hit with infantry, what are you going to use against infantry? Oh, you said the AC-20? Oh, that's not going to do you much good. Because you're not going to kill very many infantry with an AC-20. Yes, you'll kill some, but not very many. You're better off outfitting this thing with a couple flamers, or throwing inferno ammo with your SRM-6. But I think in some cases, you only get a ton to play with the SRM-6. Are you going to use smoke? Here's your options. You can use smoke in it to lay down a covering barrage as you're slowly trundling away and down the street, very slowly as the mechs run you down. Or you can put inferno ammunition in it for some anti-infantry work. Well, that's an option. Or just put standard ammo in it. So, there. Questions. So, yeah. Now, as much as I like the idea of medium pulse lasers on the vehicle, it gives you some modifiers to at least hit something. Because typically your vehicles are only going to be running with probably 4 gunnery on them. So you're not going to be spending a lot of points upgrading vehicles. But at least with the pulse lasers on them, you can probably hit something with them if they allow themselves to get close. So yeah, there's that. So this is what I would do, which I kind of alluded to here in a second here. Let me dig it up here. Where's that one at? It's already got it made. Pop-ups, go away. Oh, that's the guys. Ooh, did I just say something? Maybe it was. Here we go. There, that's the LBX version. What did I do with it? Well, one thing you can do is take those 2 medium pulse lasers, as much as I like them, you can easily replace them with 4 standard medium lasers. Yes, that's 4 tons right there. You replace them, or that's 4 tons. You can replace them with some medium lasers, and then, or let's say 3 medium lasers, and then a flamer. So at least you have something that, and then you might probably drop off the small pulse laser in favor of heat. You got to put some heat sinks on. But I like the idea of having a dedicated anti-infantry weapon system, probably in a turret, so I can at least turn towards the target, flame them, and you hit an infantry platoon with a flamer, a bunch of them are going to die. That's just the way the nature of the beast is. Instead of just killing a handful, you can at least burn a whole bunch of them out. So that's what I like. The whole thing is that I'm going to put an anti-infantry weapon system on board this vehicle. If you're going to fight in the city, where are you going to find in the city most of the time? You're going to find infantry. So I like something that's going to take care of said infantry. And you could also look at replacing it, with the small pulse laser. You can replace the small pulse laser with a single machine gun and a half ton of ammo, and leave the 2 pulse lasers there if you want to, or replace them with medium lasers, and replace the 2 pulse lasers with 3 medium lasers and a machine gun. So the sky's the limit. Or replace that small pulse laser in the back with either a small laser and then give yourself another machine gun. So 2 machine guns and a half-ton of ammo. Hey, the sky's the limit there. You can play. You see what I'm going at. You can play with things. So, yeah. That's the major drawback. It's like speed with this thing and no anti-infantry capability, really. You know, yes, you can kill some infantry with the pulse lasers and the AC and some streaks, but your each hit is going to kill somebody instead of just burning a whole platoon to pieces. So there's that. Now, there are a few, kind of alluded it, different versions of this. Now, there's the LBX version. This one is you replace, has a pair of LBX 10 cannons, replaces the streak systems with a pair of streak 4s, and has the vehicle probes swapped out for a C3. Hey, small pulse laser is replaced with an ER small laser. And the medium pulse lasers in the SRM6 is completely dropped to make up tonnage for that second LBX 10. And I think it's got 3 tons of ammo on board. I'll tell you in a second. The rack version. Oh, 4 tons. Yeah, you got 4 tons of ammo with that rotary rack 5. You're going to burn through it possibly pretty quickly if you're going to be shooting everything at once. Damage output can be pretty quick, or you can jam on the first use if you're trying to throw full complement of rotary rack 5 rounds downrange. It's like we were just talking about it over the weekend about what is the I think it's 3 or 4 is about the sweet spot when it comes to a rack system and mitigating your chance of jamming. And well, when a vehicle jams, what are you going to do? Yeah, you're not going to be pumping a lot of rounds out through that thing. So 80 shots is more than enough. You could probably drop that down to 60 and use that extra ton for, well, let's see, machine gun. So, yeah. But on board, you have, like I said, the 2 rotary, well, that's on the rack version. But on the LBX version, yeah, I can say the LBX version is something that you can easily do anti-infantry. Well, not really a lot of anti-infantry. You're going to do damage to infantry. But against vehicles, VTOLs, or even, heck, if you shoot at hovercraft style vehicles with an LBX cannon, you're probably going to get a lot of motive hits on it and drop it down in its speed, so the next turn it might be a dead, or it's already dead in the water, so it just clean it up and move on to the next one. So that's the fun thing about LBX cannons when it comes to the mix. Now, we do have another one. I just talked about the rack one. This variant swaps the autocannons in SRM rack, small pulse laser for a pair of rotary rack 5s, 4 ton of ammunition, and the medium lasers is replaced with ER medium lasers. So they're all coming in at a pretty, it's like 1100 battle value. This one is going around 1400. So that's getting kind of expensive when it comes to battle values, 1400s, because heck, you got 2 rack 5s, 4 streak, you still got the 4 streaks, 2 systems, 2 ER medium lasers, a Beagle probe, which I once again swapped the Beagle probe out for a ECM. To me, ECM is more useful than the Beagle probe most of the time. So You have that. And like I said, you could easily drop off one of the tons of ammo in favor of like a machine gun to go to town. And it's got a good decent range also with the rack system on board. So you can shoot out a good distance and tear things up pretty quickly. And if something comes in close, you got the streaks to do some kind of crit hunting maybe. But it still suffers from the same old, we got a problem with infantry. But then again, a lot of people never play infantry in their games, so they like, well, I don't understand that. But, you know, infantry do have a tendency to show up. You never know when they're going to be there. Alright, so then we have the tracked version before settling on the wheeled version. The several prototypes, Typhoons had tracked chassis. The tracked chassis is more expensive and intended for, well, Typhoon is an urban combat vehicle. They have a tracked version, and it costs almost $1 million more C-bills. Runs around 1,200 battle value. But, hey, at least you can take it off-road a little bit better. And you look over there and go, huh, maybe it'll hide in those bushes. So, there's that. So that's it. That's everything that have to be said. Now, you're all screaming, it has an AC-20. What's an upgrade for an AC-20? What would you do? Well, it's funny that you asked. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, what did I do with it? Not that one. These are not labeled so well in my system. Here we go. Yeah. We got a Typhoon Gauss rifle version. Yeah. This is to give a little bit more range to your formation. We have a Gauss rifle with 2 tons of ammunition. We have 4 medium lasers, 2 in the turret, 2 on the front slope, 2 streak 6s, C3 slave. Yeah, there you go. So, you just kind of look at it and go, well, that's an interesting little build. And it's designed for shooting out at range, getting out there and hammering things. Soften targets up, and then when the formation gets closer, then you have other weapon systems to engage, or your AC-20 brethren can kick in. So, there's that. So, that is one of the things I like doing, is swap out that AC-20 for a Gauss rifle. Now, if you had a track version of this, hey, track version with a Gauss rifle? Yeah, that would be cool. Pretty cool. Yep, I think so. But overall, that is the Typhoon in a nutshell. Now, there's some options you can do with it. You can play around. But it's like 90% urban combat vehicle. Yeah. As such, the name says Urban Assault Vehicle. But, you know, it could be running down a road surface, doing kind of a slow-moving convoy escort. And then that's where you're looking at it. I wish I had a longer range weapon system. That's where the LBX version will come in handy, or the rack version. And then you might have a couple AC-20 versions, or even a Gauss rifle version. Do a direct swap. Running down the road with you. So it's not fast by any means with a 3.5, but that's the Typhoon. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share with friends, and we'll see you in the next one. I'll cracks out.